in the crooked things straight.
What's happening, everybody? I'm Batwolf and welcome to my channel. Today I will be diving into the Hellboy the Crooked Man trailer and give you guys my thoughts and predictions as to what I think this movie might look like. That said, let's load up our Samaritans and let us begin. Our new Hellboy is played by relatively unknown actor Jack Kesy, seen in roles like in Deadpool 2 and The Intruders. Now, as far as looks go, out of all of the Hellboys, he seems to be the smallest, especially if we're comparing him to the other two Hellboys that we've had in live action. Now, I don't know if this is bothering anybody, but I will say that the blue eyes instead of the orange do kind of bother me. I don't know if that's nitpicking or if you guys have a problem with it as well, but I think it takes away from the demon factor. And I think it's just a small step that could really help enhance the comic book-like look to the character. Now, as far as the acting goes, scenes with him are very limited, so there isn't too much for me to go off of here. I feel like the reason why we're getting very limited scenes is because they're trying to sell the whole horror aspect of this movie. But based off of what I've seen, it seems like he's just as moody and brutish as the other versions of the character. My final predictions for what this Hellboy might look like is I think he'll be like the Tom Holland and the Robert Pattinson of Hellboys. He may not be looked at as a classic of this character or as big. I think he'll be a blend of the two, and I think until we've actually seen the movie and seen more from this Hellboy, I think we should be open to interpretation and give this character a chance. Director for the movie is Brian Taylor, known for the Crank movies and Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. Now, the good things to come out of this director, and from what I've heard about the movie, is the creator of Hellboy, Mike Mignola, says that this is the most loyal adaptation of his character, which makes a lot of sense when you look at just the Crooked Man alone. I mean, he looks fresh out of the comic books. It's incredible. And this seems like a very dark retelling of the character, and that it could be the scariest of the Hellboy films. The film looks like it's going to be a mixture of a John Wick movie and a Conjuring film, mixed with the same creepy smiles and neck twists that we've seen from those movies and the intense action scenes that we've seen in the Crank films and, like I said, John Wick. Now, unfortunately, there are some negatives when it comes to this director. Taylor has a bad track record with comic book films. I mean, we've seen him use similar characters to Hellboy, like with Jonah Hex, and as I mentioned before, Ghost Rider. And while I'm hoping the best for this director and the character himself, this could just be a third strike with the comic book community. And I've seen some comparison online to people comparing it to the Blood and Honey series. And unfortunately, I have to agree, this looks like a fan film, especially in comparison to the other films that we've seen. When we look at comic book characters, it's often, especially in today's day and age, is that a lot of these comic book movies feel very similar. This could be one of those events where we could take a comic book character like Hellboy and put him into a real horror movie. With the other three Hellboy movies, all of them explore the idea of the end of the world. And I quite frankly look forward to this small, intimate story that we have. It looks like a sort of event that's taking place on the countryside where he is strictly just dealing with monsters. And I gotta tell you, some of the best parts of reading the comic books or watching the films is when Hellboy is just doing his thing, hunting monsters. Now, based off of the evidence I've talked about here and the research that I've done, I will say this does seem like it's going to be just a popcorn film. I'd like to be wrong, but hey, I mean, there's nothing wrong with going to the movies with your friends, your family, and you guys go check out a cool movie. I think this is going to be something really fun to watch, and I, for one, will definitely be there. Now listen, I know we all want Hellboy 3. I do too. But we can't make the same mistakes of the past and throw hate at another actor just for portraying a character that we liked seeing before. I'm a big Ron Perlman fan. To me, he'll probably always be my Hellboy. But we need to be open-minded and open to interpretations of this character. There have been other actors to play Batman. There have been other actors to play Spider-Man. And don't even get me started on actors who've played Superman. So would a Hellboy 3 movie be cool? Yeah, probably. But I think it's okay to open our minds to this new Hellboy and see where it goes. And I have my fingers crossed that this movie's good enough just so we don't have to have another reboot. Thanks for watching. If you guys like this video and want to see more from Batwolf Enterprises, check out my designs of a venomized Hellboy in this video here. And subscribe for a variety of content on this channel. Now, you heard what I had to say, but what do you guys think about this new Hellboy? Let me know in the comments. That said, this is Batwolf, howling out.